Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I am Zhong, the owner of Zhong Cage Fighting Series. Number 2 is going down November 13th in the heart of San Francisco, Kezar Pavilion. We are 3 weeks out. Right next to me, we have Jordan Vazquez. Officially signed today, will be competing on our upcoming event, making his professional debut. Now, Jordan, let's introduce you to all the MMA fight fans out there, who you are, where you're coming from, and what got you into martial arts.
I'm Jordan Vazquez. I'm 27 years old. I'm kind of fighting out of Milpitas and El Nino Training Center out of San Francisco. Right now, the thing that got me into mixed martial arts was probably just a lot of street fighting, just a lot of
street fighting.
Yeah, street fighting. A lot of messing around as a kid, and now I was just like, you know what, might as well just try and make some money out of it as well.
Now, how long have you been training mixed martial arts?
I've been training since like when I was 19, so I think about 7 or 8 years. So I've been doing a little bit of everything. I started with kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and then I just kind of went up from there.
Right. Do you have any like wrestling in high school? Any of those backgrounds?
No wrestling in high school. Just a ton of
street fight.
Street fight. There you go. Right?
Street fight.
Undefeated in street fight.
We have an undefeated street fighter, little mini triple slide making his pro debut. Now, when you born and raised in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I've been living in the Bay Area my whole life. 18 years in Milpitas. I moved out to San Jose for 2 years, and then I came up to San Francisco for school. So
nice.
I've been up here ever since.
What do you do for a full-time job?
Right now I do physical therapy aid, so I'd be doing, I'd be working on a lot of patients. I'd be trying to rehabilitate them and their injuries, and that's what I'm also trying to go to school for as well.
So I'm sure you're taking your body very, very well care, right?
Right, exactly.
Since this is what your profession
is.
Yeah,
exactly. All exercise.
That's pretty awesome. Now, on your upcoming fight, you have your amateur record is 4-4, and you fought pretty much the best bantamweight in the Bay Area. What made you want to make that switch, from amateur to pro now?
I think it's about time. I think it's been a long couple of years that I've been training and stuff, so I feel really confident in my skills, and I think this is the right opponent for me as well.
How do you think this pandemic affecting you?
I had to fight on your previous one, and
yes.
Almost 2 years now, so I was kind of idle from then. So it just feels really good to get back in the cage and in the same spot that I was going to start in a couple of years ago as well.
Yes. I know this whole pandemic kind of changing the whole entire fight industry.
Right.
There's a lot of OGs that retire because of the pandemic.
Right.
And there's also a lot of up and comers like, fuck it, this one I'm going to try it out and see what happens.
Exactly.
So it's a pretty hit and miss. Even my last card, we have a great turnout. We have a lot of debut, and then also this upcoming fight card, we also have a lot of debut. Mm-hmm. So the guys that don't even think about fighting before the pandemic and then train the whole pandemic, now they want to get in the cage.
Right.
So it's very interesting now.
It's been up and down, right?
It's like a roller coaster. I see a lot of gym folded in San Francisco, like countless of a gym just closed down, move and downsize, and everyone just going through it,
Exactly.
People moving out, jobs and all that. So now, on this upcoming fight, you're against the guy Ulysses Molina. What's your take on him?
I think he's a really good and skilled opponent. I trained with him a couple years back when he was at El Nino, so we kind of have a little bit of familiarity with each other. He's a really good wrestler, good striker, so I think he's just a overall good opponent.
Yeah, funny thing about Ulysses, he doesn't really wrestle in the fight. Yeah. He's coming from a wrestling background. He stands, and then everybody who fights him actually trying to tend to take him down.
Right.
So
he got confidence.
Right. So now the way I'm watching you fight, you are definitely a little street fighting championship. Yeah. You comes in, bring the hits in there with the slugfest. So
don't play around.
Don't play around right there. So now on this upcoming fight, how do you see? If you don't mind to give a little bit of game plan to the public, what do you see yourself to do? What you do to come off the W?
I think me and him are going to have a little bit of wrestling in there, but I think most of it is going to be striking. I know he's a good grappler as well on the ground off his back, so it's something I got to watch out for. But I think it's going to be mostly standing. I think both our wrestling is good, so it's going to be a wild fight.
Definitely from what I'm watching you and what I know him, this is definitely a treat for people who don't understand too much about grappling, because all you see is trying to shut his heads off. This is great. So now, how do you prepare for this upcoming fight? I know you have a pretty much non-stop training until this fight calls in. A lot of people do is just keep training. There's no fight, and all of a sudden, just boom, there's a fight pops up. How do you prepare for him, like on your conditioning, on your cardio, on all that stuff?
Training like at least 5 days a week, fixing my diet, running a lot more, and just being a lot more disciplined in my training throughout the weeks.
Do you think you have a size advantage against Ulysses? Because he fought at 125 before.
Right.
And I tell him time to time, I'm like, dude, you only 5'6". Like, why are you trying to go down?
Yeah.
He's like, and he doesn't really walk around that heavy, but
right.
The kid loves to eat, and he doesn't like to diet. So I'm like, okay, well, you want to stay 135, but some of the 135ers are pretty huge nowadays.
Yeah, they are. They cut a lot of weight.
So do you see yourself like having size advantage against Ulysses?
I think I have the muscle advantage. I think he's a little taller than me, like an inch taller than me.
You have a genetic advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm gonna have that over him. The cardio, we're just gonna have to see, when we get there. But I hope we're both gonna prepare well for it. I think so. It's gonna be a great fight between me and him.
What do you see yourself here 5 years from now? Do you see yourself making this as a career? Or what do you see yourself?
Definitely a career and as a champion in 5 years. Nonetheless, other than that.
Now, in the Bay Area, are you going to stay at the 135 pound?
Yeah, that's going to be my weight, 135 pounds.
Do you see anywhere in the Bay Area that's someone that you want to fight in 135 pound? That anybody out there that catch your eye, it's 135 pounds, like, I want to fight that guy in the future?
Not at the moment, but I'll fight any of you guys, so I'm ready for any of you guys at all.
So any 135er out there,
135er, champion, undefeated, I don't give a fuck.
that's a good attitude to have, because I always tell people, like, sometimes I interview a lot of fighters, they're like, you know what, I got into this fighting because so and so, but do you know him? I don't know him, but I see him fight, like, man, I think I can beat that guy.
Right.
And then time to time, that's why I always ask fighters, like, who do you have in your mind that you want to fight in 135? I can name 10 135 pounds that in all the different Bay areas, that those guys probably going to be look at you now. You're making a pro debut, like you are under their radar now.
Right.
This guy's making a pro debut 135. I'm watching how you fight. That might be one of my future competitors. And you just never know.
Yeah, I want the belt, so anybody who's standing in the way of the belt is the person I'm gonna pick.
Nice. Now, if people want to get a hold of you, Jordan, to get tickets to watching you fight, to come support you, how can people contact you?
Contact me on Instagram at jvazquez408. Also, I train at El Nino's Training Center where we'll be training. Or you can just hit me on Facebook at Jordan Vazquez.
That's
the best way
good
to contact me.
This upcoming fight camp, do you have any special loved ones, sponsors, people that support you, coaches, training partner that you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my mom, dad, and sister who've been always supporting me on this journey.
Are they going to be a front row seat ticket buyer?
Yes, they are.
That's awesome.
Everybody at El Nino Training Center, my coaches, and my two sponsors, Chirology Group, Dr. Clinton Cabrera, and Vigilante Apparel by Alex.
That's pretty awesome. Well, it looks like you have a good support system. I can't wait to watching you coming to dance at the next upcoming event. This upcoming event, Zhong Lo Cage Fighting Series #2. It's going to be branch out collateral with the Mongol Fighting Championship. So look like they're having events next year in Mongolia. A lot of pro fighters that do well on this event might get a free ride to flying out to Mongolia to fight over there, because they want to fly some U.S. fighters to over there to demonstration the difference of two different countries. So it will be interesting. So a lot of overseas fighters. We have Russians, we have Mongolian, Korean, we have all the people from overseas fighting out of this card. 11 professional pro fights. We have 10 amateur fights on this upcoming card. It's about 20 fights. So make sure you guys check out DragonHouseMMA.com, see the fight card layout, and please smash the like button and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you for all the supporters to support my channel. So that's how it motivates me to keep put on the show for all the Bay Area fight fans out there. Now, if Ulysses Molina watching this interview, what do you have to say to him?
Just show up, make the weight, and let's have a bang, man. It's been a minute. It's been 2 years since we've been in the cage, so
yes.
Let's go.
Any little prediction for all the fight fans?
No prediction this time. No prediction this time. I just know it's gonna be a hell of a fight with him. He's a good ass fighter, so
Yes.
it's gonna be a good one.
Well, look forward to having this upcoming fight. Make sure you guys stay tuned. November 13th, this event's a live stream pay-per-view nationwide all over the world. So making sure you guys, if you can make it to the event, make sure you order your live stream pay-per-view voucher from DragonHouseMMA.com. And I'm Zhong signing out. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
Good to have you on board.